This is what happens on a good stage. This is what happens on a bad stage. Optimal stage picks make a huge difference for Mii Brawler's power and effectiveness. You can solve some of Brawler's biggest weaknesses, like his trouble killing, by just going to the right stage with the right moveset. So, I'm going to explain why you should choose which stage and which to avoid to have the best chances you can get in tournament. I'm going to make a tier list for all different up Bs, as those affect your optimal picks drastically. If you only want an explanation for a specific up B moveset, you can check out the timestamps in the description. Before we start, a quick reminder. If you want to support me and like this content, please consider subscribing. Most of you guys aren't yet subscribed, and it's the fastest way to show your appreciation. Thanks a lot! Up B number 1, Soaring X-Kick, is a low kill power move great for recovery and neutral. Because you usually don't really kill with it at low percent, except for a stage, you mainly rely on up smash, flashing knock punch or back air, and sometimes SAK at ledge to kill. Especially back air and SAK have great base knockback but awful knockback growth. This means stages with small blast zones will make a big difference on kill percentages and consistency. As a result, Kalos, Town and City and Pokemon Stadium are generally stages you want to avoid. Now hold on, but Town and City has smaller blast zones to the side than Final Destination and Battlefield. Why is it so bad? The reason here is that it prevents SAK from using its full potential off stage. Just like Kalos, the side platforms not only make high recoveries less safe, they also block ledge trapping and stock trade attempts. So, with this being the worst trade for SAK, Pokemon Stadium comes right after that, with the largest side blast zones of any Liga stage. It is also a rather large stage in general, which doesn't benefit rushdown characters like Brawler in any way. In the next tier, the pick if you have no better option tier, we have Final Destination and Battlefield. These stages still have relatively large blast zones, but also don't have any specific traits standing in the way of SAK. I place Battlefield a little higher than Final Destination, as the platforms provide a little more safety for onstage SAK. And now, in the pick 100% tier, we have Smashville, Lylat Cruise and Yoshi's Story. Smashville is ranked the lowest of the three, but it still has good blast zones and a big platform in the middle providing safety for SAK. It is also a small stage in general, which benefits Brawler's playstyle. Lylat Cruise and Yoshi's Story definitely take the cake though, for the guaranteed best stages for this moveset. Not only are the blast zones amazing, they have one important thing: slants. Slants allow forward air to be auto-cancelled from a short hop. This small difference in height gives Brawler the one extra frame he needed to auto-cancel his fair. This makes crazy fair trains into SAK from across stage possible, as well as generally better use of forward air. This is my final recommendation for stage picks when you use Soaring X-Kick as your up special. Next is Helikick. Helikick can be one of Brawler's most consistent kill moves when used correctly and on the right stage. Its knockback growth isn't the highest, so it often relies on being as close to the blast zone as possible. So, as you might be able to guess, small blast zones to the side are everything for this move. You want to avoid Final Destination in Pokemon Stadium for that reason, and also because the stages are quite big. Kalos and Battlefield aren't as bad as those two, as the platforms can be valuable for kill setups. Together with Town and City, you can pick them if you don't have any better choices. As for favorable stages, again, Smashville, Lylat and Yoshi's are your best friend. Small blast zones, small space and slants are everything you could ask for. Lastly, there's Thrupper. Here we have to think in a different way about blast zones and platforms. With Thrupper, you will mainly want to kill off the top, meaning a low ceiling is favorable. And the more platforms, the better, as they provide more setups for early kills with down throw into Thrupper, or kill confirms at higher percent with upper Thrupper. Again, Kalos and Final Destination, as well as Town and City, are at the bottom. While Final Destination doesn't provide any platforms to combo, the ones on Kalos and Town and City are placed rather disadvantageous for that matter. At least, they don't make up for the high blast zones of the latter two. In the middle tier we have Lylat, Pokemon Stadium and Smashville. All three provide decent platforms for comboing, and especially on PS2, it's quite consistent to combo via upper trains and down tilts onto the platforms. Smashville does have a better size for Brawler's playstyle, however, the ceiling is higher than the other two, so I can't quite place it into top tier, as a lot of kills will still go to the sides before the right thrupper setups are possible. I still see it as a contender for potentially best stage in multiple matchups though. In the 100% pick tier for thrupper, we have Yoshi's and Battlefield. Battlefield's ceiling is just as high as Kalow's ceiling, but the triplet setup is just too much of a boost for thrupper. On both stages, kills are possible at literally any percent, and the setups and opportunities are easily available. Especially Yoshi's with its size and blast zones is the definitive best stage you could ever hope to pick with this brawler set. Any unsuspecting or unknowing opponent will be surprised to see just how early Brawler can kill on this stage. So, these are my 3 stage recommendations depending on which up special you use. Of course, some placements will change depending on matchup and personal preference. For example, while slants do allow for easier combos, they also make it harder to hit characters with a small hurt box. So I would probably not recommend to pick Lylat against Pikachu. Similar things can be said for sets which run shot put as neutral special. Platforms offer a variety of coverage options for ledge trapping, combos and approaches, which deserve a video on their own. So keep your other specials and their attacks in mind when picking stages. And if you personally feel more comfortable with a certain stage, then there's no harm in picking that one. Do you have any different thoughts? Let me know which stage you prefer and which you would always ban with your set. And if you learned something, consider liking the video or even subscribing. Until next time.